Welcome to game number 2 between BeastyQT and Kasva. If you haven't seen game number 1 yet, please do check it out because that was an absolutely crazy game. Anyway, spawning in on the left-hand side of the map in the color teal, it is going to be BeastyQT playing as the Malians. You can see lots of sheep on this map as we are on the map Prairie. I'll explain a little bit more about this map later. On the right-hand side of the map, in the color red, we have Kasva playing as the Abbasid Dynasty. Interesting civilization picks on this map because I think the first thing we can notice on this map is that there is no big wood lines. I mean, this is your base wood line, and from there, like, you got to move out all the way over here, and even then, they're such small pockets. So, Abbasid is an interesting pick here. Because this map, you need a lot of map control. We can see there's no wood, so you need to push out quite far for your wood. There's also like lots of little deer patches. There's a lot of food on this map, but we can see here, look how much food these guys are bringing in. I mean, look at them all there. So you definitely need a lot of map control. And Abbasid is an interesting one for me because, I mean, I guess you can get quite a bit of Age 2 map control if you go into Horseman plus Camel Archer. And the Malians, I mean, they like to go for their infantry-based unit comp in Age 2. So we're going to have to see how this one plays out. We can see Beasty has opened up with a bit of a different build order than usual. Only going for 2 houses here. He's still got 50 wood in the bank. I wonder what he'll be doing with that. I guess he's saving that for a lumber camp later on. Interesting to see that he hasn't just spent it on 2 houses like we normally see players do. And then usually sometimes we even see people mine the 2 additional straggler trees. So I wonder what Beasty is up to today. I mean, he's going to have enough gold income anyway for the age up. On the other side of the map, Kasva going to be building his House of Wisdom. It's got to be the culture wing, right? I mean, the Abbasid have been kind of nerfed with these town centers changes by quite a bit. I mean, Abbasid would always go for 2 or 3 town centers. So having town centers nerfed is a pretty big nerf for the Abbasid. And so I wonder if we're going to be seeing any other sort of wings come out, because the main reason the Abbasid will go for the eco wing is because if you're on 2 TC, you know, that's 100 food every, what is it, 20 seconds. Yeah, it's quite expensive. So having half price villagers is super nice. However, Kasva is still looking to go for the eco wing, and it looks like he'll be going. No, I thought that villager might have been moving out for the stone. Okay, so it's still going to be the eco wing. So not looking to play very different here. We'll have to see if he decides to go for a second town center himself. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, town centers are still really good. However, I thought we might have been able to see some other wings being played today, but unfortunately not. Beasty here is going to be aging up with the Mansa Quarry. And we just see how many sheep does Kasva have? 12 over here. I mean, he's got like a ton over here, and he was already eating a bunch as well. Absolutely crazy stuff right there. I mean, Beasty also has quite a bit here as well. I mean, this map just has so much food. Also has so much gold as well. I mean, both players starting off with a 8,000 gold mine right next to their base. And this is really good for the Malians. I can see why Beasty would have picked Malians on this map. Being able to build these houses in Age 1. Or in transition around this gold mine, he's going to be making a lot of gold from this pit mine. Unfortunately, we can't see it in the caster UI. That's something I'm sure will be on the way soon as well. But for now, we're just going to have to guess. I think it's around like 120 gold a minute with a full set of buildings around this pit mine. So it's still going to be a really decent amount of gold here for Beasty. I think this is like the only competitive map that, well, I say competitive. It's in the Red Bull Wololo Legacy tournament. However, players aren't really a fan of it, to be honest. So it might get taken out. However, for now it is. It's the only map where a large gold mine spawns directly next to your base instead of a smaller one. And speaking of smaller ones, yeah, no, there are still smaller ones. So it's usually you'd have one like this. On this map, you do get the 8,000 one, which is really nice for the Malians. And now we see Beasty going to be moving out for the stone. Oh no, do we have a bit of a town center boom off right now? I have a feeling we do. Oh, maybe not. Oh, we do. I was just about to say, oh, Kasva hasn't moved out to stone yet. But no, here it is. Here it is. There's that mining camp onto the stone. We also see Kasva going into a stable, though. Looking to go into some horsemen, I would expect. And that might be really, really good for Kasva, because town centers take a lot longer to build. They also take a lot longer to get the resources for, because that plus 50 stone. Kasva might actually be able to deny that town center with a couple horsemen. The same regard, Beastie is going to be going into warrior scouts. And they could do the same thing, to be honest. We see there, warrior scouts is going to be coming in. Now got that 7 damage compared to the 1 for normal scouts. And there we go. The first horseman is out for Kasva. Going to be able to deny their scout. So we're going to have to see how many town centers each player decides to go for here. And if a town center even gets up, I mean, both players going very heavy on the cavalry front. Beastie deciding to go for warrior scouts, and warrior scouts are a lot cheaper. And they could also, but they're just as effective as at denying a town center. Whereas Kasva is going to be going for the slightly more expensive horseman. And we can see there, the warrior scout actually does so well up against the horseman right there. I mean, Beastie right now might want to pull a couple builds, try and get a bit of melee off onto that horseman. Second warrior scout is now out, going to be able to push away that horseman. Beastie looking to go very heavy on the warrior scouts. The warrior scouts are actually such a good unit for trying to deny a second town center, because they've just got such a large radius. They're so cheap, you can get a lot of them. You can put them in different positions. You know exactly what your opponent's going to be doing. Kasva's response to this is going to be a spearman. We're going to have to see if Beastie looks to go for any Donzo of his own. It doesn't seem like it at the moment, and we can see Kasva has got enough. No, wait, he doesn't. My bad. I thought he might have had enough stone by now, but still quite far behind on the stone count for some reason. Despite mining stone for quite a while, we see Beastie over here almost having enough. There it is. He's got enough resources right there. Horseman going to be charging in. Villager might be picked off here from Beastie. There's the first villager going to be going down right there, hopping inside of the town center. And where is Beastie? He's just going to be going for an in-base town center. It makes sense. It makes sense. However, this might be punished a little bit later on because of the resources on the map. You know, you're going to need to push out at some point. Kasva, on the other hand, he's a little bit of stone away. We're going to have to see where he decides to go for his town center. Bear in mind, both of these civilizations do not have access to the boar. So, I mean, this might have been a nice spot here for Kasva, but the boar not going to be providing him anything at all. Here might be a nice spot. It's a very nice spot. You got the berries, you got the deer, you got the gold, you got a little bit of wood, you got the stone. We're going to have to see. Nope, it's going to be in-base as well. So both players looking to go for in-base town centers. It makes sense when both players have gone so heavy on the cavalry front. However, the players are definitely going to have to expand out at some point. Very, very limited resources in the base when it comes to wood. Gold, not so much. I mean, you look at all this gold. And Beastie coming up with the big brain plays right here, going into professional scouts. Okay. So food's definitely not going to be an issue for Beastie. You can see he's now training a few Donzos. Have they changed the Donzo cost? They now cost 30. I'm sure they didn't cost 30 wood before. Interesting. Wait, have spearmen been changed? No, so spearmen still cost 60 wood, 60 food, 20 wood. Donzos now cost an extra 10 wood. That's a change, right? Or have I just been stupid and thought that they cost the same as a spearman? Because I do know that the Donzos have an extra melee defense, and obviously they can throw their spears, but I thought they cost the same. Maybe if someone could let me know if I'm just being stupid there, or if they've been changed. But Kasva's now going to be pushing into the base with those horsemen and some spearmen in there as well. He spotted out the Beastie. Is going to be going into that professional scouts. House is going to be trying to be burnt down here. Going to be going for the pit mine first. Makes sense. Try and deny that gold from a Beastie as much as possible. Donzo is going to be taking a couple shots off there. Going to be moving forwards now. Can't take a fight up against Kasva right there just yet. Third town center coming down from Kasva now in the corner of the base here. Pit mine has been destroyed. Houses are now going to be targeted down next as well. So it seems to be very heavy on the warrior scout plus Donzo at the moment. But Kasva's got the spearman mass right now, and that's all he needs. And it seems like Beasty doesn't really want to go into any sort of archer composition. Kasva needs to be careful here with his spearman. He needs to pay attention. Horseman going to be having a nice little charge off there as well. And Kasva is definitely going to start to pull ahead soon in the villager lead, being on those 3 town centers. He's got his fresh... Oh, I'd assume he's got his fresh foodstuffs in. We can't actually take a look in this UI, but we can actually click on the town center and see. Yeah, there it is. So Kasva's going to have a nice little economic lead starting to encroach soon. Both on 40 villagers at the moment. Kasva looking to just sit back for the minute. Pit mine going to be rebuilt for Beasty, but, you know, it's 150 wood that's been destroyed there, plus another 75 on houses here for Beasty. Archery range now being dropped for Kasva as well, looking to go into a few archers, or maybe even just a camel archer. Camel archers do give that debuff to other cavalry, and we can see Beasty's going into some sofas now as well, so that might be the call to go for. We'll take a look in a second, and look at, I mean, 29 sheep for Kasva right here, and like a good like 15 would have been, I would say more than 15 would have been, actually, he's got 14 villagers. He would. What I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of sheep here. However, Kasva trying to deny the professional scouts out a little bit there, but so much food coming in underneath the base for Beasty right now. He's going to be set up for quite a while, that's for sure. Also going for a bit of a cattle boom behind this as well. 2 TC with a cattle boom compared to 3 TC and fresh foodstuffs from Kasva. We see 4 villagers ahead for Kasva already. Looking pretty decent. And it looks like Beasty just wants to mass up these Donzo. I mean, mass Donzo is always a good choice with the Malians. I mean, up against pretty much anything, to be honest. These units just feel so good. No blacksmith upgrades in yet from Beasty. Neither for Kasva. Phalanx is coming in from Kasva, so going to be able to get that extra range on those spearmen. You see there the sofa, 1 HP. Does Kasva realize? No, he doesn't. Oh, he does. He might be able to get it. There it is. We see there Beasty. He has spotted out this town center, so he might look to add in another one of his own. We're going to have to see. Or he might just look to go a little bit heavier on the cow boom, because the cow boom actually is really effective. However, Beasty is going to need more gold for that, and we can see Beasty stacking the food right now. Look at that, 1,600 food in the bank. So this gold is probably going to be for an age up. I'll be very surprised if it's not. And speaking of age up, Kasva military wing is in the queue, and Beasty looking to push forwards now. Horsemen are going to be targeting down these warrior scouts, and Beasty just looking to pick up all of the deer on the map absolutely everywhere at the moment. Horsemen are going to be going down here for Kasva. Now a wall starting to come down as well. Beasty might be able to pick off those villagers though. Very heavy spearman competition coming through from both players right now. We've also got a couple archery ranges. Archers are in the queue right there. 3 archery ranges are down. Kasva is going to be able to hold for now as well. There are 5 archers in there, so Beasty does have to be a little bit careful here. Doesn't have too many cavalry out on the field at the moment. I mean, look at all the food that Beasty's got stacked under here. Horseman or sofa is going to be running under the town center here. Not going to be achieving too much there. And walls are going to be successfully set up for Kasva. Beasty taking so much food in right now. I mean, there's so much deer on this map. It's definitely worth going into that professional scouts with the Malians, because these guys, unlike any other civilization, these warrior scouts can then be used as a unit as well. So it's like, you may as well go for professional scouts with the Malians. Kasva has aged up. We see his veterancy upgrades are in the queue. Veteran, spearman and archer. And he's now like, wow, okay. Kasva looking to completely wall off the map right here. Might be losing a couple villagers here, though. Sofas are going to be running in. Spearmen are here, though. Beastie reaches the castle age himself. It is going to be the Grand Fulani Corral, which means he is going to be going for a bit more of a cow boom approach. Couple villagers being picked off here. Kasva does still have the villager lead, though, by 11 villagers at the moment, and now men-at-arms coming out from Kasva. Men-at-arms going to be doing a pretty decent job here. We're going to have to see lots of archers on the back line here for Kasva. Going to be taking out those donzos. Lots of spearmen here as well. Going to be able to deal with all of this cavalry. Kasva needs to make sure he doesn't overextend, though. Spearman not looking too good here for Kasva, for BeastyQT, sorry. Beastie losing so many donzos. Not really what he wants to be doing, especially as he doesn't even have his, does he have his veterancy upgrades in? He doesn't, I can't click, no. Okay, so he did have his veterancy upgrades in for the donzo. But he definitely did not want to take that trade. And Kasva looking in a really good position right now. We take a look at the army value. I mean, we can look at military count, but I prefer to look at the value. The value shows a better picture of who's got the better military. And Kasva's way ahead at the moment. And the same with the eco. His eco looking really decent at the moment. However, Beastie does have a little bit of a cow boom going on at the moment. However, I don't think that quite makes up for the lead that Kasva has. Especially with these pit mines going down here as well. Kasva looking in a really decent position at the moment. The walls have been completed as well. And the reinforcements coming through from Kasva right now looking really decent. Mangonel is out for Beastie. Mangonel, oh, almost got off a shot. Almost got off a shot. So this is where Kasva might want to just sort of pull back a little bit. He may want to get down a keep. We can see he's stacked up quite a bit of stone. So keep drop near the front of the base here would be really nice. Get out a little bit of siege as well. A couple of springalds, maybe a trebuchet. We're going to have to see. Sofas might get caught off right there. Beastie is going to be able to escape. You can see here, Kasva's done a really good job walling. 3 villagers are going to be picked off here. Beastie manages to find those really easily. Definitely unfortunate there for Kasva. More raids going off in the base. Unfortunately for Beastie, not really achieving too much. Wow, this town center fire really doesn't do a lot to that sofa, does it? Kasva right now going so heavy into the spearman approach. Spearman not going to be taking as much damage as archers from the mangonels. So maybe he could push into Beastie's army with the spearman, as long as he doesn't take too many shots from the mangonels. However, it definitely makes sense to just get a couple of springalds out. I mean, you know, you could even just go for the 1. It would probably be enough. Two's a sufficient a number though. The critical number to one-shot those mangonels. Blacksmith upgrades coming in from both players right now as well. Iron Undermesh in for both players. Now we've got veteran horsemen coming in from Kasva. So maybe looks to go into... You know, this is something I've noticed about Kasva, is that he loves to go for the horsemen instead of... Or cavalry instead of anti-siege when up against, like, mangonels. I don't know how well this is going to do, though, because Beastie going very heavy still on the Donzo approach. Might not be the best choice here when you can just get out a Springald. Kasva does not like his Springolds. Lots of villagers are going to be picked off here, though. Kasva still does have a lead, but Beastie is starting to make a little bit of a comeback. However, this could be bad for Beastie. That's 29 villagers over there. And they've got nowhere to run. Mangonel going to be taking a couple shots off right there. 2 mangonels are out. And that's so many dead villagers for Beastie. Beastie not paying attention to where his villagers are at all. Wow. Beastie currently behind by 32 villagers. I mean, that was really not needed. Oh, couple mangonel shots doing quite a bit of damage there onto the spearman. Beasty might be able to clean up this army. Kasva's kind of split up his army here a little bit. He should be able to run about though. Sending a couple units back as well. Probably looking to just do a little bit of villager poking. Quick balls coming up from Beasty. Mangonel shots are dodged right there. Kasva might be losing this army right here. Mangonels not doing well at all. These Mangonels just keep missing. Finally getting a couple good shots off there. So Kasva is going to be losing this army. However, his villager lead is really starting to build up right now. Cow boom still not the best from Beasty. He's got quite a few cattle here, but definitely could be a little bit better. And I feel like this doesn't make up for the villager deficit he's got at the moment. That army is going to be cleaned up though. But we can see the mass is starting to regrow down here for Kasva. He's got to keep up over here, securing up this sacred site. Keep drop going to be coming in from Kasva, from Beasty as well. Kasva push down here. Oh, that could be so many free vills right there. And we see Beasty just under so much pressure right here. More villagers going to be picked off right here. Horsemen could run in, take out the Mangonels, but they decide to go for the villagers first, dodging out those shots from the Mangonels. Horsemen are going to be charging in here to the Mangonels. These Mangonels are really low HP. That's so many resources gone for Beasty right there. This is not looking too good for Beasty at all. So far behind in villagers. Lost so much of his military right there as well. Kasva is going to be losing those horsemen out, but I mean, that was so many resources taken right there. Kasva is now going to be losing out a few villagers here. Not really too much of an issue for him. We see constant reinforcements being pushed into the base of Beasty right now. And Kasva's just been looking so good. Like, the last couple games that he's been playing up against Beasty, he's been looking absolutely phenomenal. Beasty is going to be able to hold for now. We see Horsemen up here taking a little bit of time here to burn down that pit mine. Siege Workshop finally coming down from Kasva. He does not like this building at all, but is going to be dropping it down. Beasty losing so many resources. Like, that was 1,200 wood and 600 gold right there. Mangonel just gone. Definitely unfortunate there. He just didn't have enough mass to protect it. Speaking of mass, where is Beasty's army? Like, he just doesn't have any army. He's got this. He's got this. He's got a little bit of Donzo, a little bit of Sofa, but I feel like Kasva... It seems like Kasva's stopped amassing up for the minute. Whoa, Kasva going a little bit crazy on the gold right there. Both players right now stacking up quite a lot of resources. They don't seem to want to be spending too much of it. So maybe Kasva looks to go for an age up now. I mean, he's gathered so much gold up. Would definitely be worth going for an age up. And we can see now Beasty's stone walls are going to be going down. Looking to try and just fortify up a lot of this position. He's got a few palisade walls up over here. Relics coming in for both players, or only Kasva actually. I take that back. Two relics are in for Kasva. He's still got another. He should be able. Actually, I think Beasty might be able to pick that one off with the arrows, but he's got another one sitting in the base here. I think this one was attempted to be picked up. It's in a slightly odd spot there. It usually spawns. I think it spawned here. Either way, Kasva is going to be aging up now. It's going to be the culture wing. Also grabbing agriculture in behind that. Why is that? Okay, so it does show which upgrades are being trained from the House of Wisdom. We just can't see the actual tab. Okay. Warrior Scouts trying to pick off a few builds over here. Kasva's army is in the right position though. You do see there's a bit of a hole in the wall here. Kasva is going to be repairing that up, however. These Warrior Scouts for Beasty doing a lot of work. I mean, constantly idling here. I mean, look at this. 15 villagers idled. 18, actually, inside of this keep and tower. Sacred Site is now approaching for Kasva. And look, we finally have our in-game timer right here. And I mean, Kasva's got all of these sacred sites pretty secured up. I mean, this one doesn't have a keep directly next to it, but he's got a pretty good position here. He only needs to get up a couple walls, maybe another keep. So this could actually be a sacred site victory here coming in from Kasva. We're going to have to see, though. But for now, he's looking in a pretty decent position to do so. Beasty's just going to be chased around by these spearmen. There it is. The age up comes through from Kasva. It looks like Beasty's looking to go for that age up as well. He's a little bit of gold, a little bit of food away, but he'll be getting there shortly. And it looks like this sacred site victory is already going to be denied. Okay, well, it was a good attempt, Kasva. Oh, the second one. No, this one's going to be... It's going to be all right. One scout left on there at the moment. Yeah, unfortunately for Kasva, just doesn't have anything around. You know, you only need like a little bit of wall here and you'll be fine, but fortunately Kasva, I mean, it's probably not looking for the sacred site victory anyway, probably just looking for that extra bit of gold, which he is going to be getting anyway from those other two sacred sites. Mangonel is out for Beasty yet again. Let's see how much damage these guys do. Kasva really looking to wall up the front line here. Javelin thrower is going to be able to do a little bit of damage here onto the spearman. Mangonel here as well. Spearman going to be charging in. Beasty's Mangonels today just don't seem to be that effective. I mean, only getting off like one shot onto some spearmen. Really not feeling too good for Beasty today with those siege weapons. Two trebuchets on the back line here, going to be taking down that keep, and Beasty has aged up. Where is that? We'll take a look where that landmark is in just a second. Kasva's army is going to be cleaned up for the time being, but lots of reinforcements are on the way. We can see Kasva's eco lead still growing at the moment as well. Horseman going to be charging in. Boiling oil is in for Beasty. Going to do quite a bit of damage here to all of these elite horsemen. And surprisingly, elite horsemen coming in from Kasva. He loves his horsemen lately. I mean, we saw last series he went for the horseman approach with the French, which is very rare to see. So he's loving his horsemen right now. The keep going to be going down for Beasty right now. We'll take a look to see where that age up is. It's going to be the Griot Barrow. It's going to be the festival landmark. I think if it was the other one, the fortress, the Huntress of the Forts or something, it's the big fort landmark. It would have been placed somewhere on the front line here. And we can see here, Kasva really looking to wall up the field right now. So maybe he does look to go for a bit of a sacred site victory. He's still got those two northern ones. They're going to be recapturing this southern one as well. And Kasva looking to push into the base right now. Constant pressure of units flooding into the base right now. And there is the sacred site victory again. 9 minutes 52 seconds on the clock. We can see Kasva trying to be as much of a pain as possible. A couple bills are going to be picked off here. And constant horsemen going to be charged through here. Veteran upgrades are still here for Beasty. He really wants to get those elite upgrades. He's grabbing elite Donza at the moment. Definitely what he needs up against these horsemen. Kasva, surprisingly, Beasty still hasn't grabbed this fitted leatherwork upgrade. I mean, that's going to be really helping out up against these horsemen. Keep drop going to be coming in here as well for Kasva. Surprisingly, he still hasn't stonewalled this. Oh, he stonewalled it. It hasn't keeped it, but I guess he doesn't need to keep there. Kasva is going to be losing out on these two counterweight trebuchets if he's not careful, though. I think those are going to be going down. At least one of them is for sure. Other one might be saved here. We're going to have to see. I think both are going to be going down, though. Kasva might be looking in a little bit of trouble here. I mean, he's put quite a lot of pressure onto Beasty. But Beasty's mass is looking pretty decent. Boiling oil coming in from Kasva, though. Going to be able to deny these units right here. And these stone walls are going to be completed now from Kasva. Kasva's looking in a pretty decent spot for a sacred site victory here. It's going to be really difficult for Beasty to try and capture this southern one now with these stone walls. And then we can see this keep is still up here. And that leaves these two northern ones, and they're secured by two keeps and stone walls. Kasva still needs to finish this little bit of stone wall here, but I'm sure he'll be on that soon. And Kasva for now is just going to have to pull back. Both players not really looking to push too much at the moment. What is Kasva doing? Where's his army? Okay, so he's looking to go into some hand cannoneers now. That makes sense. Definitely makes sense up against what Beastie's making here. However, javelin throwers do actually counter hand cannoneers. Pretty much the only thing in the game that counters hand cannoneers. However, hand cannoneers do still trade reasonably well. Especially up against any sort of Donzo. 7 minutes left on the clock for Kasva. BeastyQT starting to build up some siege now. We can see here, Culverin and Bombard has been made. Keep drop going to be coming down at the front of the base as well. Looking to just secure up the rest of his base. Ooh, elite men-at-arm coming in from Kasva. Interesting choice. We're going to have to see what he decides to do with that. We can see the Bombard for Beastie. It's going to be taking shots onto the keep here. Kasva's still got a huge villager lead right now. Beastie's still so far behind. I mean, Kasva's got a 43 villager lead right now. And Beastie going to be losing out on his army here. Kasva's going to be able to clean up the army. And I assume it's going to be finishing off that keep. Sacred Site. No, Kasva. Oh, Kasva. No. Oh, Kasva. Come on, that was an easy Sacred Site to keep. Just drop a keep. Here. Drop a tower even. Drop a wall here and here. Please. I beg you, Kasva. Right, are we gonna have a round 3 of the Sacred Site drop coming in? I wouldn't be surprised. You can see both players right now just building up their army. And it looks like Beastie might be in some trouble here, because it looks like Kasva is going to be moving around to the south side of his base. However, still a huge wall in the base for Kasva, which is going to mean Beastie can charge through with these elite warrior scouts. And that's right, elite warrior scouts is in for Beastie. I mean, whenever we see Beastie on the Malians, he seems to love his elite warrior scouts. I mean, they're so cheap for what they do, so I guess it makes sense. You can see here, Kasva is going to be pushing through in the south here. Not too much of Beastie's eco here. In fact, none of Beastie's eco is up there, or down there. Most of it is up here in the north side of the map. We can see here, Kasva is going to be able to clear up these elite warrior scouts with just a few spearmen, elite spearmen here, and villagers repairing up that wall. Please, Kasva, finish the wall. Beastie's army is on the way down south here, bringing primarily elite Donzo. Interesting choice up against men-at-arm plus hand cannoneer. The rest of it, he doesn't really have much of an other army. We can see festival coming in right now. What festival is that? Is that the siege? It's got to be the siege festival, right? Oh, it's the eco one. It's the eco one. We can see all of the villages are like golden, and that's because of this. We can read to see what it does. So increases food gather rate by plus 50% for 30 seconds. Definitely what Beastie needs right now. We can see he's a little bit lacking in food, and we can see Kasva's actually taking a really effective fight here. Hand cannoneers plus men-at-arms up against Donzo. I mean, the clear winner is going to be Kasva there with the hand cannoneers. Definitely feels like a bit of a throw there for Beastie. He definitely did not need to take that fight at all. I mean, Kasva lost barely anything there. And the walls are still not... Oh, come on, Kasva. Come on. A little bit more wall. Oh, no. And behind this, Beastie's going to be burning down the wall anyway with these bombards. And it looks like Kasva's army is actually stuck on the wall now. And in the back of the base here, Kasva still being annoying. 3 culverins out for Beastie, though. I mean, Beastie absolutely loves his siege, whereas Kasva absolutely loves no siege. He's got 1 trebuchet in the queue, but this is really interesting from Kasva. He just doesn't seem to like to go for any sort of siege. His anti-siege is cavalry, and then the only other bit of siege he makes is like his trebuchets for you know, to burn stuff down. Doesn't really like to go into heavy mangonels or heavy culverin or whatever. You can see here, Kasva's making some pretty good ground right now. Lots of reinforcements coming in, primarily spearmen and horsemen. Few hand cannoneers mixed in there as well. The wall is still down for Kasva. Definitely wants to look to get that up pretty soon. And we can see Beastie struggling so much with the military right now. I mean, what's happened to Beastie's eco? Like, I know he's behind in builds, but how is he this far behind? He's got a cow boom. He's got his gold pits up as well. One mangonel is out here. That is going to be going down to this one elite men-at-arm and one spearman. Another mangonel comes out as well for Beastie. I mean, the siege just doesn't seem to be going too well for Beastie today at all. I mean, you definitely need a front line to protect all of this siege. Villagers are going to be pulled. They do manage to save that mangonel, but Beastie's looking so good right now. Sacred Site finally recaptured for Kasva. Kasva, please build a keep or wall. Please, I beg you. And we see here, cows are going to be burnt down right here. Stopping as much of Beastie's food eco as possible. I think Kasva has identified that the problem right now for Beastie is the food. So, you know, denying them off all of these farms, getting rid of the cattle is going to be really problematic for Beastie. And bear in mind, this is match point for the best of 3. Beastie needs to hold on for as long as he possibly can. Beastie is currently one down. And Kasva looking really good here. So many villagers, 44 villagers right here. Almost half of Beastie's eco is they're now exposed to these spearmen and horsemen. Beastie not looking in a good spot here at all. We got Muso Buddy Warriors coming out right now from Beastie. Interesting. These are these are like they fill the same role as a crossbow. So these guys are anti-armor. They do well up against knights. They do well up against men-at-arms, which is the opposite of what Kasva's going for. Like, Kasva's going for horsemen plus spearmen, neither of which are armored, which is yeah, interesting choice by Beastie. I mean, they're not going to be doing terrible here. They are still elite, so we're gonna have to see how well these guys do up against these spearmen. See, now taking an engagement right here, but Kasva's still got the numbers right here. Mangonel on the backline going to be shooting reinforcements as well. I've got to say, this is not looking good for Beastie at all. We can just see there, the Muso Fighting Warrior is really not up against the correct unit composition right now. Mangonel is going to be going down from Beastie as well. I mean, Beastie's just in shambles right now. He's got his food villagers back over here. We can see all of the cattle's been murdered. And GG gets called. Kasva absolutely on fire, taking the series, well, the round robin thing 2-0 against BeastyQT. Wow. I'm amazed by Kasva's performance. That is absolutely incredible. Well, if you did enjoy this, guys, please do feel free to leave a like. And I'm sure I'll catch you later for some more games from Aussie Drongo's tournament.